Okay, it is June 2nd at 10 o'clock, and we'll call the meeting to order. The listers, North Hero listers, are there any adjustments to the agenda?
I do not have any.
Hearing none. I don't see or,
So we're only doing in-person meetings now, so there's nobody on Zoom, and if nobody comes in person, there's no public.
there's no public.
We're not advertising in the Zoom.
Can we take a look at the minutes for May 5th? Oh, we did do it. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Any discussion of the minutes? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. The minutes are approved. And discussion, review financial reports. Budget status report is on the back of the, yeah. So we are close, we have 1 month left and we're at 74%. How did
Yep.
we do this well?
Well,
Salaries.
salaries are under, yeah.
Which
mapping
is a
was
good
over,
thing
which
since
was,
tax mapping cost us some.
Yeah, legal is under managed services. I think we still have, we're gonna have a May and a June invoice.
We had the bill for the pontoon boat going out to the island, or would that already be in here?
That's in there. It's under professional services. Yep, because I entered that on Thursday.
So we should end the year underspent.
Underspent, yes. We may, we have to buy a bunch of computers because anybody on Windows 10, it's no longer supported after October 2025. So we have to buy a bunch of computers. So we may, mine is one of them. All the office needs new computers. Mary needs a new computer for cemetery. So we may put mine under this since it's under budget, just kind of spread out the
Mhm.
budgeted expenses that this is gonna be, so. We may have that, but we're still gonna be under. Okay.
Property cards.
So we got word last week that we had been trying for a year to get the Nemrick property cards. We talked about it last year, select board approved it. And it took this long to get them, Nemrick to actually do it. And we saw it from Michael last week and it works great, but did he not load it for everybody? I think he wanted us to see it and then we have to let them know, right?
Oh, okay,
Cause it's not up there yet.
it's not up there.
Yeah, he kind of sent us a screenshot and he was gonna be away, I think, today, so. But we're close. Well, it's in CAI's hands and they've already got it set up, so. That should be happening this week.
And so those will be updated once a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so the pictures, the Nemrick property card and the tax map will all be as of April 1st. So if somebody looks at the picture, somebody sees the Nemrick property card, they see the tax map, it should be what we are signing, what you guys are signing off on today.
Good.
And that, yeah. So. That is our goal.
And all of the pictures of the places that we have visited have been uploaded, so they should be
Picture should be up to date
up to date.
when we load them to the site. We haven't done that piece yet, but yeah.
Also, we have to, that's right, we have to upload them to the site.
We have
once
to
they-
upload them to the site once, yeah.
Townwide reappraisal,
Finally got word back from Mike Tarrant last week that he's recommended no changes, thinks everything looks fine. So I reached out to, actually got back to me on Friday, finally. He had some more questions. So I'd already reached out to Tyler Technologies saying what was the next step. They gave me the signature sheet, which will go in front of the select board on, not tonight, but the next one, whatever that is. 15, 16
they
of
meet
June.
twice.
They meet twice. They're meeting tonight and then they meet again, yeah, the 16th. So on Monday, the 16th, they'll approve and sign that, and then that should be done.
So the reappraisal will start,
July 1,
2027.
2027.
And I think maybe I didn't tell you, but PVR had looked at the contract too, and everything's in there that needs to be done during a reappraisal. So
Good.
they had already approved it.
Okay, Lister training requirements. Update from DA.
Yeah, didn't you talk to Benton about that?
And they told us that it's not settled,
Right.
that they are still reviewing what is in the legislation and trying to figure out exactly what are the requirements, so we don't have final, like you have to do A, B, and C. We did the ethics training. We're kind of ahead of the curve because we were asking. When we did the
Mhm.
ethics training, and I did the 2-day,
And Jim's done the 2-day.
2-day,
So, because we were asking about the IAAO course 100, which is a 5-day course. And they really didn't answer. They really don't know yet what they're gonna make everybody do, so,
they're getting lots of feedback about it.
yeah.
So we're still on the waiting list to find out what they're gonna do. Status of work, map changes and corrections are up to date, sales verification letters are out and up to date. Building permits,
So building, everything as of April 1st is up to date. Picture uploads, PTTR entries, the building permits, everything as of April 1st has been entered, checked, site inspected.
nice,
okay, assessor report,
So I haven't done any training. I mean, I've done all the PVR stuff. They've had a lot of VT Pi stuff. And I've done all that, but site inspections are done. Review of assessment changes. So you have a 4-page spreadsheet listing all the changes that were made from last April 1st to this April 1st for this grand list with the values. I usually send you this report from NEMRIC, the change of appraisal report, but the change of appraisal report includes any change in titles, which would not be a change in value, it was just a name change, and it includes homestead declarations, if they didn't have a homestead declaration before, which again is no value. So this spreadsheet are just the value changes.
okay.
And total at the end is increasing the grand list by $873,100. And as I was telling Mary, they changed the way VT Electric is valued. And we lost $1.8 million on the grand list just from VT Electric. Really couldn't explain to me why when I called them Friday morning. There's a board that decides. All Benton could tell me was we took the biggest hit so far. I think he must have received a lot of phone calls on Friday, because it was
Mhm.
Friday afternoon before he called me back, because I called him like at 8 o'clock Friday morning, like something's wrong. Um, and he said we had taken the biggest hit out of everybody he had talked to so far.
Do you think there's any appeal?
I have no idea. I don't know that
I mean, that's a
it's a huge amount.
huge hit.
What I didn't understand was they gave me the value, they gave me the fair market value, then they multiply it by the CLA, which is 0.6202. And I said, well, that can't be right, because it gets, when they get a bill. And the CLA is calculated on the bill, so you put the fair market value in, so we're putting the fair market value in after the CLA, and then it's gonna calculate it again. I said, that can't be right,
Yeah.
and he said it was right,
Wow.
so. Those numbers were input into VT Pi, the state's been through them, he said that's the number. So
So you don't get to question it?
I
Come
tried,
on.
it's like the, it's like
So
the,
all our electric bills on it.
right, exactly, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
He said there was going to be more discussion, they were gonna have to have a meeting with whatever they called it, the I can't, utility valuation board or something, I can't, there was like a board that does it,
Wow.
Huh.
so.
It's
They-
odd that they can't tell you how.
And they waited to the 11th hour to
Yeah.
give us the number. They kept
Yeah.
saying, you know, we had been waiting for a month for those utility numbers. They're usually out in May. And we had all been waiting for them, and they said, you know, if you don't have them, just use last year's and go with it, and it won't be an errors and omission. And then they finally, Benton gave me, I talked to Benton late Thursday, and he gave me our numbers. And when I finally input it and realized what last year's was and the difference, I'm like, can't be, like, I must have heard him wrong. Yeah, I'm like, I must have heard him wrong, or I misunderstood something, and he said, no, that was it. And then I went over it with him again this morning. I'm like, sure, that's the number.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the number. So that's where we lost all our value.
Wow.
So several camps being torn down, changed to dwellings, full year dwellings. That was a big thing this year. Several big garages, lots of sheds and decks and um, so one of the changes was my properties. And you have a separate spreadsheet of, this looks like this, yep. So I gave you the before and afters.
It's a separate paper.
Yeah, it's a separate. There you go. So the property on the hill, the brown house on the hill that we built, 020042.2. That changed from 4.13 acres to 3.43. So, but they also now have lake access that they didn't have before. So, Tom, I had gone over this, with Tom when I had showed him what we were gonna do, and the notes he left me said to not, increase the land grade for those houses in the back. Is to
Right.
show the lake access, so
Right.
so they get reduced, I'd reduce the acreage and I increase the land grade. So that's that difference. Then you come to the Snack Shack property, Pete's Snack Shack that we bought, and we combine that with the store. So it used to be the store and the house were 0.48 acres. We took the house out of that and added the Snack Shack property. So that's now 2.05 acres with just the store, the Snack Shack that's still there. And there's a utility shed or something that Pete has left there. So there's those three structures. He also told me not to tax that as lake frontage. And that has a 3.0 land grade already. The store did, and I don't understand why it was so high, but. Because we don't own across the street, the store didn't own across the street,
Did they used to?
no, never had, so when Butch owned the store, they owned the brick house next door, and that had lakefront.
Hmm.
So they sold all of that, so the store goes from 0.48 to 2.05. Remove the house,
Add the
added the snack bar. And then my house came off the store property. We actually created a new parcel because based on the, the DRB decision that was approved and the survey, the area synopsis. So parcel, the snack shack parcel said would be dissolved into, part of it went to the house on the hill and part of it went to the store. So that one is no longer. And then we created a new parcel for the house, which is 2.05 acres. And the house added, they didn't have our patio. We didn't have the Conex box on it because when I went to get a building permit for the Conex box, the ZA at the time said it was a temporary thing because it can move. And they didn't, but I think it should be. So anyway, that's added
What
on.
is it?
It's a Conex box, you know, those big like cargo trailer thing, cargo
Oh,
boxes.
box that goes on the back of a
Yeah, you know, we,
18-wheeler.
you know, they're stacked up on the boat, the ships that they
Yeah.
carry stuff in. It's one of those. So we keep our lawnmowers and stuff. So it's a shed.
Yeah.
So I added that on. I added the patio on. It was structurally, it was listed as a double wide. I mean, it wasn't listed as a mobile home, but it was listed like structurally as a double wide, and it's actually a one-story house. It's stick built. So I corrected that. The fixture count was wrong. There was an area in the basement that's finished, and then they had an area that was partially finished. That's finished. So I finished that. I included all that as finished. That does not have lake access. We didn't give ourselves lake access to that.
Okay.
So there's no lake access on that. So that has a 1.0 land grade, which is what the house on the hill had before the lake access. I didn't think, I looked at that ranch down on South End Road that Warren Wright built, and that has a 1.0 land grade. I still
Oh.
understand the 3.0 for the store, but I left that. And I'll have Tyler kind of.
Look at that.
Yeah. So I didn't change the
What
land
kind of a-
grade.
What other places would have a land grade of 3.0?
I'd have to look.
Is
I was
it
gonna say, is it because it's commercial?
And maybe that could be it. And Pete's Snack Shack, they did have frontage and depth. Because that's where the lakefront was, even though it's just a small piece.
Yeah.
So, cause I thought maybe the same thing but Pete didn't. Maybe I could look at the marina, but of course that's gonna be lake frontage too.
Yeah.
So the house on the hill had a 1.0 land grade, the ranch down on South End Road had 1.0, which is kind of similar to what we have. So I left it at 1.0.
So this one, 020036 will be deleted.
Yeah, that's 0 acres, 0 value. And then, so I started with 7.49 acres. The new survey says 7.53. Old value between the three was 703.5. The new value is 863.4.
So these are 2 acres because they're considered rural? Or are they considered lakefront?
Because they were in both. So they went with the lakefront because the 0.48 was less conforming, so was not conforming, so it made them less non-conforming. So that's why they approved it.
Right.
And the house on the hill was all mostly rural, so that had to be 3 acres.
So this one ends up being the store and the snack bar.
Yes.
And
The
does that
boundary
have-
line.
Does that have lake access then?
So,
Cause
yes,
because the snack bar does, right?
snack bar does, yes, so the store now has the lake access. So the old
And
value,
the house on the hill has lake
the
access.
house on the hill has lake access.
Oh, now I understand.
It's a swampy piece of lake access. It's not a great piece of lake access. You can put a dock there, I guess.
Yeah,
You can't swim there for sure.
yeah. So it would be next to the marina.
It's next to the marina, right up to the bridge.
That would be a very long dock to get out.
Yeah,
To get
Real
any
water.
depth.
to real water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Heather leaves her boat there. But I don't know if she does all summer. When it starts to go down, it's not,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really mucky. So any questions, any changes, any concerns? You're welcome to come do a site visit.
Sounds like the DRB did it. Made it all.
They approved it all. It's all
Yeah,
been
yeah.
approved.
Okay. Anybody have questions or concerns? Jim's?
There. I mean, it's confusing but clear.
Yeah.
Using but clear, yeah.
And we still have to do a map, I still have to do a map change on that.
Yeah, I didn't realize they had, when I finally read the notes. I didn't know we had to like create a new parcel and I thought we were gonna, there were 3 parcels and we ended up with 3 parcels, so I just was gonna. But then I realized that the ownership was gonna be under the trust for the store and that can't be, it's gotta be under the real estate holdings and. So, anyway,
Yeah,
that was a fun one.
Yeah.
we've got a couple of those. Okay, so.
Oh, so the other one is the Scandori.
Yes.
So Scandori also went in front of the DRB and did a subdivision on Lola's property on Lakeview Drive.
Okay.
We're down by the cemetery.
Yep.
So they separated Lola's house, 9.5, I think it's 9.54 acres from the 20 acres, and the remaining 10 has that mobile home on it that Mikey Martin lived in,
Oh, right.
and the pit.
Okay.
But according to the DRB, that second lot is not gonna be developed and it would need additional permitting to be developed. So what I did was I divided it and created the second lot, made it inactive, but I didn't increase the value at all. It's still at a 200, the value that it was is 1, because it's not developable.
Okay.
So does that end up in here? Yeah.
That is there. Yeah,
Okay.
just shows no change.
And it's understood.
Yeah. So it started out being $230,000. I split it, the acreage. The mobile home is taxed separately.
Because they don't own the land.
Right. Mike doesn't own the land, he owns the trailer. And I'm guessing when that bill goes out, we're gonna get some questions about that because he doesn't live there anymore, but he hasn't legally transferred it. And I don't know if it could be considered an abandoned. And I saw that somewhere recently about
Mm.
abandoned mobile homes, how to handle them.
It's 2 or 3 years and then there's a whole thing
Mm.
there. We have regulations about that.
We do,
Mm-hmm,
in our regulation,
mm-hmm.
in our zoning regulations.
About, yeah, abandoned property, so many, I think it used to be. I think it's been reduced to like 2 years.
And how long has it been empty?
They went in front of the DRB in October.
Oh,
And he's been out.
He's been out for. A while.
Has it been a while?
Oh, no, maybe
Right.
that's about right. Maybe that's when,
He got a bill last year and the taxes have been paid on it.
yeah.
And
Now the house, Lola's house, that's 9.54 acres.
the new lot with Lola's house on it is 9.54.
So that must go back a ways. Yeah.
so the taxes have been paid on the mobile home?
Yeah.
So
How can you abandon a place?
Yeah,
well, I don't know if he paid them like at the beginning of the year for the year, they're not a lot.
but then that year would not be considered abandoned. Because it was
Cause
paid.
he's paid.
I mean, he doesn't have to live there
So the abandoned property wouldn't start until, the new-
until the next.
so when he gets the new tax bill,
Until,
I'm guessing I'm gonna get a phone call or somebody's gonna get a phone call. But there's been no property transfer, tax return transferring that mobile home to Mike Scandori. In the DRB decision, Mike Scandori said he was gonna demolish the mobile home, that the mobile home was going away. And I checked April 1st. I went down there and checked. I've been watching it to see when it would be gone and
Yeah.
it's still there today, right?
yep,
It was still there on April 1st. So
Well, Scandori may be waiting for that year to be completed before he destroys it, because the taxes are paid on it.
yeah,
Hmm.
so the part that was separated.
I was gonna look up the zoning regulations
Has 10 acres with a mobile home on it and.
and
plus
the pit, the pit, and it said it would stay as a working gravel pit is what he's calling it. That's what the DRB decision said.
A working gravel pit?
It's, yeah,
He must be still using it for gravel.
he uses it.
A lot of stuff on there.
Hmm?
There's a lot of piles of stuff.
Oh,
I'm not sure it's a working gravel pit, but whatever. Concrete. All the ash trees that are being cut down
um,
Oh, is that where he's putting them in there?
in a big pile there, yeah.
Well, I don't know what's going on with this because I can't get to.
hopefully they won't run into the cemetery fence and the brand new cemetery fence.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
You want to park on the side of the road if you're gonna go into that cemetery? There's just an entrance on the road, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, you just,
there's not a road into the cemetery to go in.
no. And it's closed, I mean, there are no more burials in that cemetery, so
Oh.
there's no need for any trucks or vehicles to go in there.
Oh, there they are. I was like, where are the regulations?
Can you search? Is it a searchable?
Yeah.
Cause I think if you search abandoned. There was language about abandoned property and.
Spelled
Temporary uses,
F I R there.
abandonment and destroyed structures.
Or the structure has been abandoned, the owner must remove all ruins and structural materials and restore the site to a smooth grade within 2 years after the abandonment. So you're right, they have 2 years.
God knows why I.
The
remember that.
the abandonment, structures which have collapsed from age will be considered abandoned if within 5 years after the collapse and notification by the ZA, the owner fails to present a restoration plan. So,
5 years.
yeah, 5 years if it collapses. So they've got 2
Oh.
years, so. But there was something in the new Lister handbook about, I've seen something about abandoned mobile homes recently. And there's a brand new Lister handbook out for 2025. Let's see if I can find something in there. So at this point, I'm guessing when the bill goes out is when we're gonna get some kind of,
Response.
yeah. And I'll ask Mike when I see him. Abandoned mobile homes, tax sale of abandoned mobile homes.
Oh,
We're not gonna, I mean,
yeah.
it's not gonna be worth it. Oh, it just gives you how to do a tax sale on an abandoned mobile home. So that's all. That's not gonna help us.
No,
So that was Scandori. So unless you disagree about the value,
Boy, buttons only went up 124.
that's not finished, that garage,
Oh, it's not.
no. No. So we added on a bedroom and a bathroom to the camp. And then
Yeah.
the garage, but the deck wasn't done and the upstairs isn't done and it was not. So we're gonna go back there. Is it done now? Are they still there working?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
I'm not hearing as much noise.
Traffic. we're gonna plan on following up with some bunch of stuff this summer and not wait until March.
And five,
When Kathy leaves me for 3 weeks.
I know, I know. And 3 feet of snow.
Yeah. Mm.
Because we did go out in 3 feet of snow.
Yeah, we did. That was fun. So. Anybody else, anything else that you see that maybe not?
Look at it and go, what? Oh, okay, Lakeview Lodge, yeah. Was it Brenneman? Was that the one we went out? this
Brenneman
week?
is the one that, on Lipizzan Lane.
Oh,
So last year, 2 years ago, they entered the shell of the new structure under section 1. And last year created it as as a house in section 2 and never removed the shell on section 1. So they got killed last year in taxes for the
Okay.
assessment. So when I figured that out, that's the correction.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah, because that dwelling was almost done last year, so it was almost 100% complete. It wasn't complete, but it was almost 100% complete, so they got taxed for the shell and almost completed dwelling.
And they didn't,
They never questioned it,
wow.
yeah,
Um,
because they have a, they questioned something this year. Oh, they got a new 911 number because of the 2 structures, and they called and wanted to know if they were gonna be assessed more. Because they're saying the one isn't an apartment, but it's an apartment over the garage. So, maybe they're not calling it an apartment because you don't rent it out, but it has a full kitchen, bath, bedroom.
And what was Helsingus again?
So Helsingis bought the property next to them. So it goes down 227,000, I think, and then goes up because one is
Oh, okay.
inactive. The one parcel is inactive and it got added to the other parcel, so. So that's a wash, because that was no change in value. I just added the one to the other.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because they're contiguous. They're both lots next to Maryland there.
Jake's,
Galen Jakes on Blockhouse. That's the one that we just did the interior inspection on.
oh, and it's complete now.
It's complete now. Yep.
Yeah, because I think that wasn't even built, was it? No, it was partially, it must have been partially.
I think, yes, it was partially there last year when Tom and I went. But it wasn't done inside at all.
Yeah, some of these were plats that we got, like Mayhew was a plat, that changed the acreage.
And that Innisfree, the Innisfree Lake, right? Innisfree Lake LLC.
Hmm,
That's down on Greenpoint. Henry Cars owns that property down there, has 2 camps and a bunch of wetland. And he went in front of the DRB in February and subdivided that into 3 lots. So the 2 lots, each with a camp on them. And the 3rd lot, he's gonna probably donate to the state for wetlands or conservation or whatever. But The plat, so I'm gonna have to ask Danielle on Wednesday. The DRB decision says the property 17 acres. And then they divided it into what, 1.7, 4 point something, and then 14.3 came down to 20 acres. I don't know how you start with 17 and you come out
And
with
with 20.
20. But the survey, that's what the survey showed, so that's what we went with. That's what I went with. Showed 20. I would have thought that the DRB decision would have had a little bit more explanation as to the acreage difference, but
Well, it must be the survey.
Yeah. Is Lawrence the one with the movie studio?
Leverage. No, Leverance was the one we went to on Friday.
Oh,
And that is where,
Leverance is down right next to Lipizan Lane. It's a big, long driveway off Route 2, 1874
Yeah.
US Route 2.
okay,
But they
Mhm.
had all that land that they sold off, divided and sold off.
Yeah.
Became Lipizan Lane, and then they have a new dwelling on their property.
and what's the name of the guy that bought the land from McMahon Ross?
McMahon
And
Road.
he's got.
Oh, Farah.
That's fair.
Yep.
Okay,
That's the new structure.
okay, yeah,
Yep.
creation of subdivided lot, because as of April 1st,
That wasn't complete.
no. La Vista River Schneeman,
That's Fifi Point. That's the big one down
Oh.
Fifi Point where the structure was gone.
they tore it down, yeah,
And Kathy and I went back there on Friday,
yeah. Friday.
trying to figure out what we should, for
But
the, but there's no slabs.
It's concrete pillars and it's gravel or,
Stone, which I don't even
Stone,
think was
dirt.
there
no,
in April.
because when we went, that was,
oh, that was the one you were trying to figure out how to value,
you really can't unless you're gonna build the whole house.
yeah.
We'll have a better handle on that one.
We're gonna work
probably
on,
after
I'm
the
gonna work
summer.
on that one this summer and try to get some plans.
See
Actually,
if we,
all I have are elevation plans that's all they presented to the DRB. Because
Hey.
it's up a story and then it goes 2 stories, so it's 3 stories up.
Same footprint,
No,
no,
that was there?
yeah.
No,
Uh,
no,
so it's like you're gonna drive into the driveway under the house.
yeah,
And I don't know if they're gonna have an elevator, I hope so, because
I know,
how you gonna, bring groceries and
I know.
Up all
That's
those stairs.
Everything you bring into your house.
I'm guessing they're gonna have an elevator in there. So I'm hoping, they weren't there on Friday, I'm hoping when we go back that I can talk to the contractor and get a set of prints,
Yeah. Yeah, you would think they'd at least have a dumbwaiter,
something.
yeah.
So this is gonna be interesting.
So yeah, there's a new camp that they took down April 1st. It was, when I went on April 1st, it was gone. It was there the week before, but they got it out of there by April 1st on Briarcliff. They're building a new camp. Building a new dwelling. I think it's a dwelling.
What's the name on that one?
Briarcliff at Sullivan. That was the one we just went out and took pictures of with the forms. They hadn't even poured
Right,
um,
I took pictures of the forms.
so we're gonna have that big one down on South End Road or Stevens Camp Road that's going in
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this year. We're gonna have that one going in this year. We're gonna have the Fifi Point one
Fifi
going in this
Point.
year.
Yeah, this does seem to be the new thing, is to tear down the existing structure and put up something else.
well, yeah, a lot of camps going to permanent homes.
Permanent
Mhm.
homes, yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
So these letters will go out today or tomorrow, today, hopefully, maybe.
Today I've already got the current use change of assessments, ready to go, so I just gotta hold them.
So how do those change?
The current use changed, two of the changes were for, they didn't file their homestead declaration, so they went from homestead to non-homestead. Jervay Hugo's place, cause remember he had it on the sunroom and so that changed the value. Um,
Oh, cause he's got conditional use plus
yeah,
other structures, okay.
Rousseau, cause he sold those 7.5 acres last year.
Yep.
After April 1st last year, so that was a value change for him. And Andres. I don't know what Andres does.
They changed their homestead, didn't they?
It's-
It's his homestead now on.
He
US
didn't
Route
file
2?
homestead,
Oh, he didn't. Oh,
well, for 48 Quinton Place, so, which is the farm, which is not his homestead, so I think it went from. Homestead to none, no? I don't know what changed on that one looks the same. I don't know what changed.
so his homestead is now on US Route 2, but isn't part of that also?
And
Conditional
current
use?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, current use.
Okay,
Anything strike you, Jim, that needs to be,
No,
okay?
no, it's all pretty clear.
Okay, review the calendar? What's on our calendars?
So for June, we've got the two grievance days, right? We've decided on, June 18th. I'll just put these on here. June 18th, which is a Wednesday from 9 to 11, and June 28th, which is a Saturday from 9 to 11. That's what's going on.
The June 18th is what day of the week?
June 18th is a
Wednesday.
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 Wednesday. And then a Saturday. And is that Saturday is 9 to 11?
9 to 11, yep.
Okay.
So,
that's what, 21st?
28.
18th and the 28th.
yeah.
I know,
With somebody.
yeah. Okay, lodging of the grand list for the town clerk.
Yeah, we ready? Anybody have any questions, last minute concerns? You ready to do it?
Ready?
Okay.
Okay, so we have the
So
note.
the other thing,
Public notice.
this year we had to do it in both VT and Nemrick. So everything was duplicated to see what worked and what didn't work, so there were definitely some bugs in VT. But I couldn't, we got them to match this morning with, so I have the signature stuff from VT but there was not an option for me to print the actual grand list from VT. I was like,
Oh,
so I did that part from Nemrick. So. Okay. So. Certificate of Grand List.
I know.
All right, so is this you? Is that what you do?
And that's for that big old thing of
That-
papers,
Or
right?
this, yep.
Yep.
Well, there's a thing on the back.
Yeah, I think it prints it out there too.
Here's another. Well, I think this is you all, actually. We do this every year.
No, but
We certify that the foregoing pages have been prepared by us, and then there's like 5 lines. So, the city of North Hero to be lodged in the office of clerk. And so, cause yeah, there's the lines and then it says listers of the town, city of, like it's acknowledging you guys are all listers. Am I wrong? Do we have? But there
This
is
is
one for me.
Instructions, this becomes part of your abstract grand list document. So,
And maybe they changed it from previous years.
and let me look and see what, because this is out of ET Pie.
Ah, that's why the text and everything.
Oh, cause this says, we
Yeah.
hereby certify that the notice to taxpayers.
Notice to taxpayers, yeah, post in 5 places, one must be the town office. So we have, this is a little bit more descriptive. Lister's record of notices. So that's the first one, nope. Certificate,
That's what she's got.
that's what she's got.
Yeah.
It's got a little more room to sign.
Do you want these?
Well, the one I remember was there was a section for all the listers and then a section for me, but that doesn't mean it hasn't changed. It's been a whole year. So, do you want me to run down and grab last year's?
Taxpayers,
Did I make room
town
in there?
clerks,
Hmm.
city clerk certificate.
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing.
And then the oaths. Do you want to use these then
So you
instead?
guys will all sign this. And then, sure, whatever, yeah,
Because these have more room.
okay. So the notice to taxpayers, this is where you all sign that you posted it. This is where I sign that you gave it to me. This is the oath. Get no appeal at the end of the year. This is record of notices posted. How's that different from notice to taxpayer? Oh, okay. So does that mean you guys do
Yeah,
this?
let them
and then-
sign, I'll go grab last year's.
Okay.
So we sign that one, not that one?
Well, this is, so there's like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Write small.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we have to fill in, we hereby certify that according to our best knowledge, information and belief, we have herein before set down the names of all persons, co-partnerships, associations, and corporations subject to taxation in the town, city of, so Phil, go.
Mhm. Yep.
City of North Hero. On the first day of April 1, 2025. The listed valuation of all taxable real and personal estate belonging to each person, co-partnership, associations, and corporations herein before named on said last mentioned date, which is subject to taxation. We also certify that the foregoing pages
I think that's that.
that
Mhm.
have been prepared by us as an abstract of the individual lists of the taxpayers within the town, city of North Hero. To be lodged in the office of the clerk thereof agreeably to Title 32 Vermont statutes annotated, section 4111. Given under our hands at North Hero in the county of, okay. Right? Given under our hands at North Hero. In the county of Grand Isle, correct? On this second day of June 2025. Okay, now it's gonna be interesting to get your signature on these tiny lines. I know you can.
You guys are signing that you all agree. You agreeably.
Agreeably, that's an interesting word.
Okay, I would like, you all to humor me.
I would actually like to toast his filing of the grand
Ah.
list.
This is the first year we've had an in-house assessor,
And this is her first grand list filing. And you were all
I
like
like the-
crazy hard to get her through retirements and contractors and staff changes and the state, oh my God, the state. I can't even tell you. I tell people all the time that the listers are the foundation of the pyramid for the work that we do in North Hero. Leave that?
Sparkling pink lemonade. I
And,
love
well, in my head, we were gonna like do the pop thing on the porch and I went, looked at the options and I was just like, I will just clink some glasses, yeah, you all have worked crazy hard and it hasn't been easy and,
You need
like
one more.
to do, oh, goodness. So we were passing them out to everybody else. Yeah. So I'd like to say here's to another year of a strong foundation in North Hero. You guys are the group. Get it done.
Oh, thank you.
That's pretty good too. And there's plenty more.
Wow, this
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Pink lemonade.
sparkling pink lemonade.
Sparkling pink
And
lemonade.
Trader Joe's there. So I remember at Christmas time, they had like
But
non-alcoholic, like fake champagne. I think they call it apple cider and that's what I
Apple
was.
cider,
I was looking
yeah.
For the popping cork, but this actually tastes better.
That's very
Good,
good.
that's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna sign.
You have to sign that one too?
I don't think I do.
What's the other line over here
Um,
for?
So it looks like just you guys sign the certificate, you guys sign the notice,
I guess
she does the town clerk certificate.
Town or city, yeah.
Oh, yep, one more place to put North Hero.
Just to make sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. and then
So where does this all get, does this all go?
It all goes with this in this book, yep, except for the notice to taxpayers that we post.
So this is a copy of that,
So we want to make sure Lisa gets the things that are signed.
Okay,
That's a good start.
originals.
okay.
And then we have these left over, Lister's record of notices posted.
Oh, because we have to,
I think this is where you sign that you're gonna post
oh, where
notice
we're
of
gonna
the
do it,
filing.
lodging, signing, mailing. Grievance hearing schedule and public notice. So that's the,
Yeah.
where are we gonna post it? We hereby certify that the notice of taxpayers, the time and place of holding the grievance meeting for
North Hero,
North,
right?
North Hero's gonna fit in that little tiny,
Is that what that is?
I think,
Look at the small town.
Lister's record of notice.
holding the grievance meeting for and in the form as set forth on the opposite page were signed by us this day duly posted in the town.
Oh,
city clerk-
2025.
Oh, for
That's the year.
2025?
2025, yep. And then
Okay, that makes more sense.
it's Town City of North Hero.
Town city clerk's office and in 4 other public places.
Yep,
in
so
Central
Harborside
North
Market.
Carolina. Okay. Okay, so Town City Clerk's Office, Harborside Market,
Yep, Heroes Welcome.
yep,
Post Office, North Hero Post Office.
what's the 5th one?
Library, North Hero
Oh.
Library.
Dated at, so they'll be dated today, or would they be
Yep, because
dated?
we're gonna print them. We're gonna date them today.
Okay,
Dated at,
whoops, dated at blank in the county of blank this blank
dated at
day.
North Hero in the county of Grand Isle, this second day of June. 2025.
This second day of June. AD 2025.
Yep.
And then we
And
all
this is
sign
North
again.
Hero, and then you all sign again. Yep. So that's the listers record, and then you got the certificate. Got the certificate.
We have a little more room to sign this one.
All right, that's the next one. You gotta do this one.
And this is, oh, is this what gets posted in all the places?
Must be notice to taxpayers.
So one's the actual notice and one is just the.
That we're saying we did do
that you
it.
did, okay.
Listers must post a copy of this
Of
notice.
this day completed
At the
as the first day of April.
2025.
Here we go again. Agreeably to the provisions of Title 32. Vermont statutes annotated section 4111, notice is hereby given that the undersigned listers within and for the town city of North Hero have this day completed the abstract of property owners as of the first day of April 2025. The listers have this same day lodged the abstract in the office of the clerk on the second day.
No, these are the grievance days, right?
No, I don't think these are the grievances. Wait a minute. The grievances come later. Wait a minute. For the inspection of taxpayers on the second day of June
Appeals
twenty
of the taxpayers
twenty-five
agreed
at
by
blank
action.
and the undersigned listers will meet, oh,
Yeah, so,
on
so we're doing the, what do we say?
the, 18th. Do we
18th.
want to do both dates in here?
Can you do both dates?
Hmm.
So they're both the same time, so if you do 18th and 28th. And then June 2025 at 9 AM, the time, that all stays the same,
18th
and 28th.
and 28th. Good grief, day of June
2025,
2025, okay. At
9
9
AM.
AM. I'll circle AM. The undersigned listers will meet at,
Town office.
I'm gonna put North here. Office. I'm gonna go back 18th. And 28th, okay. To hear appeals of the taxpayers aggrieved by actions of the listers from whom timely grievances have been received. To be timely, such grievances must be in writing and received, postmarks not accepted by what blank 18th day.
Day of June 2025.
I like that it says postmarks not accepted.
Yeah, at the close of grievances
Okay.
hearings, the lister shall make such corrections in the abstract as were determined upon hearing or otherwise, unless cause to the contrary is shown. The contents of said abstract will, for the tax year 2025, become the grand list of the town of each taxpayer named with therein. Okay, signed at,
North Hero. County of Grand Isle,
county, and
the second day of June.
the second day, of June 2025. Then we sign.
Yep. Okay. Lister's record of notice. We've got the certificate, we got the notice to taxpayers, and we've got the clerk's certificate.
Yeah, and I don't think the lister's oath, I think that's just so you know what it is. You guys have all taken the oath. I can attest to that. And the certificate of no appeal or suit is for the end of the year.
Right. So. But this lister's oath becomes part of the final grand list document.
Okay, let's do it. You know, I think I do remember that.
Or we had to
I
take
would
a
give
vote.
you guys the oath, yeah. So this is. Okay.
Wish my 18 was a little clearer, but sorry.
You ready? I do solemnly affirm that according to my best knowledge, information, and belief, the foregoing list contains a true statement of the listed valuation of all taxable, real and personal estate taxable within the town of North Hero, under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do.
I do.
Okay. So if you all will sign, I remember this now, this is different. I just assumed it was the election oaths, but. So. So you guys will each sign here, and then I fill out this bottom section as the person that gave you the oath. You have two more, Jim?
Goodness, I did not remember signing all this stuff like this. Stuff like.
I've got all your signatures. Where it says you're supposed to sign
We
the,
were in the middle of trying to get the grand list of class.
Yeah, probably.
And Tom was still here and he would kind of do things, like he'd wander around and say, hey, can you sign this? And
Yeah.
wander around, hey, can you sign that?
Yeah, it was never. It says you're supposed to sign the 411 too.
Okay. Oh, for the perennials? Or the,
See.
the following certification must be completed by the listers or assessor. I certify that this document is a true abstract of the grand list. Oh, and it's got all these signatures, plus the certification by the clerk. Now they don't give you enough room on the line. Got that. So then we gotta do the mailing.
Which we will work on next.
Okay, I think I did this, I think.
You have one more to sign.
You two must have like a secret signal between the two of you.
Today's date here is.
She just appeared. I texted her. Yeah.
I'll text you when we're ready.
I like the secret signal.
I pounded on.
Panic button.
I know, yeah. Someone told me they're gonna start teaching cursive again.
I heard it's really good for brain processing.
You should be.
Cheers, we did it. We all did it. Thank you all.
Thank you, Lisa. I don't know. It was a lot.
There's a
The
lot, I
process.
don't know. Tom's like, yeah, you can do this in 8 hours. Yeah, you don't need any help. Yeah.
You don't need. Wow. Well, we like to check things with each other.
Yeah.
Uh,
You guys were both still here working hard when I left on Friday.
I
just
feel
imagining
like
you
I
here all
am getting
weekend.
these
You know,
pictures in.
we are gonna be 100% by Monday morning.
Well, the pictures are so much better now because I learned how to switch them to, they kept saying in the directions, you should switch them to be 800 by 600, and ours were like 5,000 to, because I used my new camera, but even with a phone camera, it takes way more
Yeah, the pictures are
crazy
nice.
pictures. Yeah, but yeah, I will. Is
I did
this?
this years ago, we had a Polaroid.
Oh, really? And then what did you have to do? Like scan them in? Oh, you attach them to the card.
Picture in the file.
You threw the picture in the file.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it is kind of nice to
Yeah.
have a picture in the file, actually, to tell you the truth, but.
Like a physical one? Do you
Mhm.
like that?
Yeah.
Huh, I could see that.
There's pictures, the appraisal, the last appraisal, there's pictures of every property in the folders.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
last appraisal.
well, they may do that again, I don't know. But
I don't know.
Yeah, we used to do a front and a back view of the dwelling and the front view of accessory buildings.
And they told us in the training, take front right and rear left.
I'm sorry.
Get all
you
four
get-
sides.
And get the other
You get the
side.
side.
Yeah.
I recently updated my homeowner's insurance and they sent me this app and it was like, it was these directions like, here's the box and, center this portion of your house here. But they wanted all four sides. They
All
were
four?
very specific.
Huh.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's not easy to get all four sides when you rent something.
Well, I have
my
house. Like, I forgot to do that. Not to go climbing over a fence and going and. Well, I have more than four sides.
Well, yeah. Yeah, well, a lot of places do,
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
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 And of course, the one on Holiday Point that she just sold. I had just my sneakers on, and she goes, "You're gonna get wet," and I said, "No, I'll be all right." Up to my shins
And water.
on water, we had to make a stop back at my house to change my sneakers into something else.
We've been through it all.
Ice,
Water,
Yeah.
Ice,
Ice.
ice,
yeah.
snow, mud.
Mhm.
My car needs to be detailed.
Yeah, mud for
It's
sure.
got mud.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
We'll get it in a book and get it in the vault.
Okay. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you very much.
Bring the glasses down. I will take them home and do the dishes.
Ah.
I'll leave this here too.
Well,
You
thank
guys
you.
can-
for
Yes,
doing that.
thank you.
Yeah,
That was
thank you,
nice.
guys.
Thank you very much. So, future agenda.
So I was looking, cause I think the next meeting is the Monday after 4th of July weekend,
Yeah.
right? Cause the
Friday the 7th.
Monday, yeah, is that what it is? Cause
Is it
Monday,
the 7th?
it is the 7th.
So July 7 is our next meeting. And, let's see, we should keep these, review the NEMRIC property cards.
Yeah, cause they should be live, right?
Yeah, it should have gone to the select board
The
for
contract,
approval.
yep.
And if I get any update from Benton on Lister training requirements. Keep our status of work.
Yeah, by the 7th, the new one won't be created yet, I don't think.
I was gonna say, we won't be
'Cause do we
putting
have
anything
to-
in until
Yeah,
this is
this is
finalized, right?
finalized, yeah, and rolled over and created the new one. So after the grievances, is there a bunch more stuff that you have to sign?
Just changes.
Just any changes?
Is that part of errors and omissions or something?
Not
or
yet,
no?
no, cause
I
it's
think
not
there's a
final.
Form too, isn't
I
there?
think there
after
is a
each
form.
grievance where you
I think there is. I'll have
sign
to,
on results,
We sign on something because it then can then appeal it to BCA.
right?
cause you
and
have to
they have
send
so
out
many
the
days
results
to
of
do that.
grievance, yeah.
Yeah, and that has to be mailed out to the property owner.
Property owner, yeah.
Yeah. So that will. We should have done though.
It goes in there
I think
if
so.
they have
Yeah,
appeals.
it's got,
But see, we had no appeals last year. We had grievances, but they were resolved.
it'll be changes.
The changes should be in there
So it should be after the actual.
after the grand list. I'm not seeing any changes.
We didn't, I don't think we made any changes last year.
Yeah, we did. The lady that had. You know, where it used to have solar, they sold solar and now it's. They sold it and it's, Island Arts is in
Oh,
there
BC
now,
Energy?
because we had. Extra structures on her property that, had been torn down, like a deck was gone and. So we did make changes. Forget what we did to the guy on Gravity Point on Butler Island. Remember that? He had to go
Something
to a
about
lawyer
survey.
and get a
Yeah.
survey.
So this one is as of June 24th.
Okay, and those are additional changes?
This one says. We'll have to get my grievance information out in preparation. It doesn't say anything. We certify it's a true abstract, so filing of the abstract. You wanna plan on doing that at the next meeting? The grievances will be done
Yeah. And that was done on June 24th?
June 24th. And when did we have we did the grievances one day on the 19th,
Oh, and we're gonna do them on the 18th and the
28th.
28th.
So we could have
So
the
July.
abstract ready for,
What's the date that you have to have it in by? Or when you,
by statute.
don't know.
It has to be to PVR in August. like August 15th, I think it has to be filed with PBR.
Okay,
So, let me see if I can find it here, but um,
oh, this is signed by the select board.
that's a certificate of no appeal. They have to sign that every year.
Oh, that
As
there
of
were no
April 1st, that
appeal.
there's no appeals certificate or suits pending. Okay, latest
Because
abstract,
whatever date,
August 14th. It's due in PVR by August 15th. So the last, oh no, July 25th for our population. Latest grand list can be lodged is July 25th. So if we plan on doing it the next meeting, grievances will be done, grievance letters will be out.
then if they go to the BCA, what happened?
Right.
That's okay because we've done
Cause
our
that could,
part?
yeah, you've done your part,
Okay.
so.
Good. So, that July 7th meeting, we should add signing,
Yep, signing of the abstract. This is the abstract, right? This is the abstract. That's the final.
the appeal, whatever. That the appeals have been heard,
I'll look that all up. So grievances must be filed by June 19th. Grievance hearing ends July 2nd. Results of grievances need to be mailed by July 9th, and the latest the grand list can be lodged is July 25th. And then deadline for filing appeal to BCA is 14 days from the date of mailing of results of grievances. And then the BC hearings can begin 14 days from that mailing.
Okay.
So
we
we
have
can,
to
we
mail
can
by
lodge
July
the
9th.
grand list. Yes, they have to be lodged by July 9th.
okay,
They have to be mailed by July 9th, the results,
results.
yep. But we'll have them done.
oh, yeah.
Um. And then we can lodge it on the 7th, because everything will be done.
So we hear them and then we have a meeting and decide what we're gonna do or not do.
Unless you want to push the meeting out a week. The 28th, that's the 4th of July week. I'm probably not gonna be working here a lot that week,
So mailed by July 9th, that's 4th of July week.
so I could do them on the 7th. And then we could do the meeting. Well, there won't be a few, I'll just do them on Saturday. We'll do it, we'll do it on the 7th.
Okay. Yeah, because if we have to mail them by July 9th, we don't have much option.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Any other business to come before us? Okay. I'll move to adjourn.
A second.
We adjourn at 11:13 a.m. Okay. Thank you, everybody. That was